Yoga is a non-competitive and non-judgmental practice. If you're a novice to yoga practice, make sure you always practice in a safe and non-competitive environment. Make sure begin slowly, warm up your body, warm up your breath, notice your mind, even if you don't do any poses or stretches. And if you sit down and observe your mind, your thoughts, your breath, you're still practicing yoga because it's a mind-body-breath connection. Keeping all those things in the back of our mind, let's begin. Go side to side on your sits, pushing them down, feeling them, noticing them. If you cannot sit cross-legged, feel free to extend your legs out, stretch them out. Feel free to elevate yourself, have a support underneath your sits, using either block, pillow, bolster, whatever you can think of, as long as your spine is elongated. So we have a blocks on either side, something like this you can use. You can use a pillow, as long as the pillow is not too soft where your lower back sinks in. That will bring the compression in your lower back, in your sacral spine, and that will not be practicing safely, because anytime compression happens, your nerve pinches. Over the period of time, you will feel the pain. So make sure that you feel no compression when you sit down, or sinking in if you don't know what compression means, as long as you're not sinking in. Come into your center, elongating your spine all the way to your crown, and take a couple of breaths. While you're breathing in and out, observe your mind, your thoughts. You're slowly bringing yourself onto the mat from your physical world, observing your physical world. You're not closing completely, you're observing to close gently. Keep observing, embrace whatever thoughts comes onto the surface. And once you settle down, elongate your spine as you keep breathing in. And take a breath in. And out, lead through your heart, hinge at the hip. This is just a warming up our lower back, not to fold completely. Make sure your neck is soft, make sure your spine is elongated. As you're folding, make sure there is no pain, or shoulders are not moving towards your ears. Take a breath in, lift up your upper body. Breathe out as you roll onto your sacrum, pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Breathe in very slowly, lifting up through your sternum. Breathe out, lead through your heart, hinge at the hip, folding forward. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out as you roll back. Pull your belly button in towards the spine, activating your core, keeping your pelvic stable. Breathe in, lift up your sternum. You'll be folding one more time. Breathe out, hinge at the hip, folding forward. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, rolling back onto your sacrum, pulling your belly button in. You're in total control, but you are not feeling any stiffness anywhere. Breathe in, lift up, back up into the center, and then stay there. Bring your both hands on either side. Take a breath in. Lift up your left arm. Slide your right arm along your right side. Soften your right elbow, dropping your right shoulder, and then allowing your left hand to go across to your right. Keep your right shoulder down. Feel the stretch in your intercostal muscle onto the side of your spine. Feel that stretch. You're not collapsing onto your right side, but you're stretching, opening your left side. Breathe and lift up your upper arm. allow your body to lift up, breathe out, left hand comes down, turn your palms and you bring it down. Breathe in, lift up your right arm. Breathe out, slide your left hand, soften your left elbow and allow your right arm to come towards your left. Allow your fingers to stay soft, keep your neck soft, keep your right hip grounded as you feel the opening on your right side or stretching on your right side, but no compression in left. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, turn your right palm, bring it down. Breathe in, lift up your both arms. Breathe out, turn your palms. Push the energy with your heels of your hands. Bring it down. Breathe in, lift up your both arms. Turn your palms. Push your right hand in towards the sky or the ceiling. Push your left hand. Breathe in and out. Breathe in as per your capacity, but allow your breath to flow through your body. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Always be aware. Have an awareness onto your breath, onto your body. I kept talking, forgot to stop. Come back into the center. Breathe out, turn your palms. Bring your hands on either side and down. Breathe and lift up your both arms. We'll be twisting, gentle twist. Keep your shoulders down, but you don't drop it. Keep it down. So you're activating your shoulder girdle, elongating your spine. Breathe in and now turn your torso to the left. Drop your left hand to the side or a little bit behind you. But make sure you rotate your shoulder and then bring your hand behind you. About 4 to 6 inches away from your head. Breathe in and now rotate your torso. Keep your spine elongated. Bring your left hand outside of your right thigh. Pushing your left fingertips into the ground. Elongate before you take your thoracic to the left. Twisting your lumbar further. Make sure you have a space. Breathe in and out. Twist at your lumbar, rotating your thoracic. And then if you're comfortable, turn your head. Look over your left, but do not do it at once. Your 3 part of your spine, thoracic, lumbar and cervical, rotated and twisted. Observe your breath once you achieve your maximum capacity. On your inhalation, turn your head back into the center. Release your upper arm over your left hand over your head, right hand over your head. And then breathe out, turn your torso to the right. Drop your right hand to the side. Drop your left hand outside of your right thigh. Take your right hand a little bit behind you. Rotate your shoulder externally and then allow your right hand to walk a little bit behind you if you are comfortable. Breathe in, lift up your sternum, elongate your spine, and then breathe out. Start twisting at your lumbar, rotation at your thoracic, keeping your head in line with your sternum. We'll add our neck into it once we find the comfort. Breathing. And now if you're comfortable, if your neck is okay, turn your head to the right, looking over your right shoulder. You have a choice to keep your eyes open or closed. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, head comes back into the center. Release your right hand up. Release your left hand up. And breathe out, hands to either side and down. Bring yourself into a table pose. I'm going to move the blocks out of the way so you can see it. Bring yourself into a table pose. Table pose is a flat back, tailbone elongates. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. There are a few cues here. Make sure your fingers are all spread. You don't want to have any weight onto your wrist. In order to avoid that, make sure your eye of your elbows are facing each other. If it's facing forward, turn your shoulders, rotate a little bit internally, and then soften your elbows as if you're pushing your or stretching your mat away or ripping your mat into the center, pushing it on either side. Okay. Spread your fingers, equal distribution into your fingers. Ground through all the bases of your fingers. Your middle finger, index finger, and thumb. And then claw your palm. Soften the center of your palm. You have equal distribution onto your palm. Shoulder girdle is activated. If your shoulders are weak, you will have a pain into your wrist. So make sure you align properly. If still you feel the pain, you may need to strengthen your shoulders a little bit, or you can always go onto your forearms, or you can always have an eye pillow underneath your wrist to make sure your wrists are elevated so it doesn't have all the pressure of your upper body. Knees underneath your hips. Make sure your knees are wide underneath your hips. Upper soles are either flat, but if there is any pain, you can always tuck them. Tuck your toes. Breathe in and out, round. As you're rounding, pulling your belly button in towards the spine, dropping your crown down or head down, rolling your chin. Notice how your shoulder blades are moving away from each other as you're pulling belly button in, pushing your hands in. And on the inhalation, you're going to arch. Lift your hips, tilt your lower back. Dropping your floating ribs, lifting your heart center as you glide your shoulder blades towards your hips. Breathe in and out. Once you achieve your pose, achieve that arch, breathe in and out. Don't hold the breath. Breathe out, round. And then breathe in your arch. We'll do one more time. And then breathe out your round. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, flat spine. Widen your knees, allowing your hips to move towards your heels. Your modified Bandhikasana, toes comes towards each other. If you have any knee condition, any pain in your knee, make sure you have a support underneath your sits, underneath your hips, or support in between your calf muscle and your thighs. And then allow your forearms to ground. Safety is number one priority. Yoga is not done. You don't achieve any benefit if you're in a pain or discomfort. Make sure you're always comfortable. And then there are layers of discomfort as well. So find, is this you're going towards the pain or towards less discomfort? Move, practice which makes you feel less discomfort or a lot more comfortable. Breathe in, shake your neck. Neck is soft. And breathe out, allow your elbows to go out as you're moving your hips towards your heels, dropping your forehead down. Breathe in and out. You can always allow your arms to go a little bit soften further. Explore your body, explore your options as long as you stay within an alignment. Explore your options. That will be your pose, your practice. Personalizing your practice to fulfill your needs. Breathe in, lift up your head, lift up your hips. Bring your knees back underneath your hips. Tabletop. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes in. Pushing your hands into the ground. Bases of your soles into the ground, bases of your toes into the ground. Lift up your knees, let them hover. Breathe in and out. Notice where the strength is coming from, your shoulder girdle, your core. Notice. Breathe in and out. Move your hips towards the back and a little bit up. Let your knees hover. And then breathe in back into hovering position. Breathe out, move your hips up and a little bit back. And then breathe in back into your hovering position. One, breathe in and out. Move your hips up and back a little bit. Breathe in, coming back into your hovering position. Keeping it there. Breathe in and out. Lift your hips, you're down now. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling or the sky, keeping your knees soft. Moving your chest towards your thighs. Dropping your crown down. Check your elbows. Elbow stays a little soft. Check your shoulders. Stays away from your ears as you're lifting your hips and pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Check your soles, your toes, your ankles, your knees and your hips are there all in one line. Observe your spine using your mind's eyes and then check your neck. Once you attain all this, check your breath. Is your breath supporting your pose? Breathe in, we'll be walking or down. Breathe out, pedal. Bring your one heel down, doesn't matter which one you're down, but soften the toes of the same foot. Lift up that heel, bring your other heel down. Walk it out, bringing your chest in towards your thighs. Keep walking. Bring your both soles onto the ground. Take a breath in. Release your right leg. Bring it back and behind you. Stretching through your toe. Check your weight. Weight is equally distributed on 3 poles. Breathe in and out, and weight is distributed on your upper leg as well because that's lightening. Taking the weight off. Breathe in and out. Bend your left knee and then step forward with your right foot. Pushing your fingertips into the ground. You can always use a block if it's a little difficult for you. Have a block, support yourself, and then lift up yourself a little bit into your lunge pose. Lifting your heart, keeping your knee over the ankle. But if you're okay without a block, you can always have your fingertips or palms as you lift up. The strength, your legs are at work. Your leg muscles are at work. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. We're going to release our right leg up, back and behind us. Breathe in, release your right leg back and behind you. Stretching it out. And breathe out. Bend your right knee. Bring it closer to your right elbow. Breathe in 3 times. Breathe in and out. Your left heel is lifting up a little. Breathe in, bring it back and behind. Breathe out to your right elbow. Now we're going to bring it to the opposite elbow. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and breathe in. Last one. And out. Breathe in, back and behind you. Breathe out, drop your leg. Drop your knees. Widen your knees. Bring your toes together. Sit back. Bring your forearms down. You can always fold your arms, make a pillow, and drop your forehead onto your pillow. Breathe in and out. Take a break. Observe your breath, your mind. Breathe, lift up your head. Both hands go out. Lift up your hips. Heart lifts up. Knees underneath your hips. Hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Always make sure you feel stable and you can be mobile within the stability. Tuck your toes under. Breathe in, lift up your knees. And allow your hips to lift up as you move your chest towards your thighs. Check your neck. Neck is soft. Your knees are soft. You don't have to straighten them. You can straighten one at a time. Breathe in and out. Pull your belly button in. And once you're comfortable, drop your one heel down. Stretch that hamstring on your left side and calf muscle. Lift up and bring your other heel down. Walk it up, heel to toes, toes to heel. Your arms are toning, your hamstrings are stretching, quadriceps are contracting, but hamstrings are stretching. Your calf muscles at work, they're stretching. Your Achilles tendon is at work. Bring your both soles onto the ground. Take a breath in. Lift up your left leg, stretching through your left toe. Keep your right heel grounded as you lift up. Check your neck. Breathe in and out. Bend your left knee. Bring it towards your left elbow. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out. Bring it towards your left. One more. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe. Breathe in, lift up. You're going to bring it to the opposite. Breathe out. I'm getting a workout. Breathe in, lift up. And it's a wellness workout. One more. Breathe in. And breathe in, lift up. And then breathe out. Lift your right heel. Step forward with your left foot. Pushing your both hands or fingertips into the ground or using a block. Lift up your heart center. Keep your right heel grounded or try to move it towards the ground as you bring your left knee towards, over your ankle and towards your pinky toe. Breathe in. Breathe in. Release your left leg back and behind you. Stretching it out. And then breathe out. Bring your left leg down. Walk it. Pushing your soles into the ground, moving your chest towards your thighs. Let both hands underneath your shoulder in line with your shoulders. Release your right hand to the side. Bring your right hand and hold your left shin. Pulling your belly button in. Breathe in and out. Turn your head to the left. Breathe in and out as you move your chest in. Have a smile. Breathe in, head comes back into the center. Release your right hand. And then release your left hand at the shoulder level. Bring your left hand onto your right shin. Hold your shin, ankle, whatever you can grab onto. Push your right hand. Pull your belly button in. Breathe in and out. Turn your head to the right. Breathe in, head comes back into the center. Release your left hand. And then walk your feet towards your hips. Keeping your chest close to your thighs. Hold your toes with your index and thumb. Check your neck. Neck is soft. Breathe in and out. Allow your elbows to go a little bit towards back. Keeping your chest glued to your thighs if possible. If not, you can always lift up. If there is any knee condition, lift up a little bit and then allow your chest to come closer to your thighs. Always protect yourself. Yoga is not practice when you feel the pain. That means body is talking to you. Body is telling you to back off. Breathe in and out. Allow your hips to lift up as your elbows are moving towards the back wall. Shoulders are moving away from your ears. Allow your crown to drop. Keep your weight onto your back of your body, onto your heels, onto your outer edges of your sole, and onto your base of your big toe. Breathe in and out. Check your neck. Breathe in, lift up your upper body into jackknife. Legs are straight. I get tremors as well. That means the muscles are talking to me. Check your neck. Breathe in and out. Allow your elbows to go up. And then you can always hold it onto your ankles. Breathe in and out. Allow your elbows to go out as you lead through your heart hinge at the folding forward. Breathe in, lift up. Allow your hands to go to either side of your body at your shoulder level. Shift your weight to the back so your toes wants to lift up, but you say no, hang in there. Bases of your toes, you stay grounded. Allow your heart to lift up. You will be sitting on an imaginary chair. Bring your hands to your heart. Imagine that you're ripping the mat into a center. Lift up your toes and start ripping into the center. You'll feel the activation in your vastus medialis. Your quadriceps are contracting. You're strengthening muscles around your knees. You're strengthening your quadricep, your glutes are at work, your calf muscles at work. Breathe in, release your hands from the side, lift up, hands over your head, and gentle roll back. Breathe in back into the center, hands to your heart. Release your hands to the side and down, just let them go. And then widen your legs. Keep about 2.5 feet apart. Breathe in, keeping your toes turning. Lift up your right foot, pivot out 90 degrees. Lift up your left foot, pivot about 10 to 15 degrees. Your front heel is in the central back foot's arch. Lifting your right toes, because your right foot is pivoted out, lifting your right toes. Breathe in, release your right hand to the right side. Make sure your center of the body is in the center. It's not leaning to the right, leaning to the left. Make sure it's in the center. And if it's not, your mind's eyes will tell you. If it's not, widen the distance. Keeping your right hand onto your right side, roll your shoulder up, back and down, and turn your palm. Keeping your right toes lifted up, we'll be sliding to the right. We'll be going into a triangle pose. Breathing, grounding through the outer edges of your left sole, grounding through the base of your big toe, outer edges of your left heel. Breathing and out, grounding through your heel, base of your big toe, outer edges of your heel. Breathing and out. Hinge at your hip, allowing your right hand to go to the right, as if you're lying down onto your right hand. Don't drop your head yet. Feel the muscles stretching. Breathe in and out. Always go as per your capacity. Don't allow your left hip to go forward, left shoulder to go forward. Breathe in and out. And once you achieve your max, drop your right hand down, push it against your shin. Keep your hip, one hip on top of the other, shoulder blade on top of the other. Breathe in and out. You can always have your hand to the side if you have any issue with your left shoulder or right shoulder when we do the other side, but right now it's a left shoulder. But if you're okay to lift your left hand up, allow your left hand to go up. Breathe in and out. You can look down at your right toe or you can look up at your left hand. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Allow your left hand to go to the right. Breathe in. Breathe and lift up your left hand. Allow your right hand to slide up as your left hand is lifting you. Right hand goes to the side. Turn your right toe forward. Both toes are turned in. Feel the outer edges of your soles when you turn your toes in. Will be folding forward. Breathe in and out. Lead through your heart. Hinge at the hip. Folding forward. Halfway through. Drop your hands onto your shins. Check your spine. Check your neck. Neck is part of the spine, but I have often seen that spine gets rounded and head gets lifted. So I want to make sure the neck stays soft, spine is elongated. Breathe in. Maintain that elongation from all the way crown to your base of your spine. Slide your hands down without shifting your weight forward. Keep your weight to the back. Slide your hands down, further down. Once they reach to your ankles, if you cannot go further down, make sure you keep your hands at your shin. Make sure you have a block, something. But make sure you're not shifting your weight forward in order to slide your hands down. Breathe in. Holding your ankles nice and tight. Always find your safety first. Keeping your weight onto your back of your body. Will be folding forward. Breathe in and out. Allow your elbows to go out as you hinge at your hip. Lean through your heart. Pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Folding forward. Dropping your crown down. Your arms are like a goalpost arms. Breathe in. Breathe in, hands down onto the ground. And then walk your hands forward. Wide leg down dog. Bring your left hand into the center. Your weight is onto your left hand. It's right, your hand is right underneath your heart. And then release your right hand, opening through your thorax. Breathe out, right hand come into the center. Your weight is onto your right hand. Lift up your left hand. Breathe out, bring it down. 2. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring it down. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring it down. Breathe. Open up. Breathe out, bring it down. And then bring your index and thumb onto your toes. Shifting your weight to the back. Lift up your toes, holding your toes with your index and thumb. Allow your outer edges to ground further. And you'll feel the activation in your inner thighs and your outer muscles. Breathe in and out. Allow your elbows to go out as you deepening our stretch, the one which we did before with holding our ankles. We are going to do it for the deepening our stretch forward. Breathe in. You can widen your legs further if you want to. Breathe in. You can kiss the mat. You can kiss with your nose. I don't have a space. But again, it's a non-competitive. But explore. Allow your body to explore different poses as long as you stay within the alignment. It's not about good and bad, but it's about safety and danger zone. Breathe in, lift up your head, keeping your both hands grounded. Lift up your upper body. Bring your heels in, toes out. Check your knees. Knees stays right over your ankle and towards the center of your toes or towards your pinky toe. Toes in, heels up. Heels and toes out. Check your knees. And then shift your weight to the back. If you're comfortable, release your hands. If you're not, keep your hands grounded. If you're further comfortable, bring your forearms or elbows onto your thighs like a sumo wrestler. Or you can have your hands in the air. Keep those arms soft. Breathe in and out. Lift up your toes. Activate the right muscle. Stretching your abdominal muscles, your inner thighs at work, your calf muscles at work. Breathe in, push your soles. Lift up your arms over your head and breathe out, hands to the side and down. And toes in, heels out, heels in, toes out. Walk it off. And we'll do the other side. Side and widen your legs. I talk a lot and at times I lose what I'm saying, but it's alright. Nothing intentional. Keeping your index and middle finger into going, thumb to the hip. Thumb onto the hip. Breathe in, lift up your left foot, pivot up 90 degrees. Lift up your right foot, pivot in 10 to 15 degrees. Your torso is facing forward, but don't crank it, don't yank it. Make sure it's natural. The movement is organic. You don't want to force anything. Breathe in. Lift up your left toes. Check where the weight is coming from. Okay? Make sure the activation happens at your calf muscle, quadriceps, hamstring. Everything is at work and stuff. Your foot is at work. Release your left hand to the left side. Roll your shoulder up, back, and down. Turn your palm. Your weight stays onto the outer edges of your right foot. Breathe in and out. Grounding through the outer edges of your right foot. Reach out to your left. Reach out as much as you can. Take a breath in, reach out further. Take a breath in, reach out further. Don't have to do it in a one breath. Breathe in. Once you find that you maxed out onto your physical capacity, drop your left hand down. And then again, what we did on the other side, if you're comfortable with your shoulder, you release your hand up. If you're not, slide your hand down, roll your shoulder up, back and down, and maintain the opening here. Shoulder blade on top of each other. Hips are almost on top of each other. And if you're comfortable, release your right hand up over your head. Your left hand is pushing against your shin. Right hand is going up. Fingers are stretched, activated. If you feel comfortable, bring your right hand over to your left. Breathe in and out, but keep grounding through the outer edges of your right foot. Breathe in, lift up your right arm. Allow your right arm to lift you up. Left hand lifts up, right hand goes to the shoulder level, and then turn your toe in. You will be twisting. Breathe in and out. Lift through your heart. Hinge at the hip, forward and forward. Drop your both hands down first. Widen your legs. Keep your toes turned in. Bring your left hand into the center, grounding through your left hand. Release your right hand up over your head. And then breathe out as you bring your right hand through your left. And then grab your left toe with your right index and thumb. Or you can grab your ankle with your hand. You can grab your pant. And if that doesn't work, have a belt around your ankle and hold the belt. Breathe in, holding your ankle. You can always hold the outer edges. Depending upon your capacity, you're going to choose the position of your hand. Breathe in. Release your left hand. And then breathe out. Once you're there, try to bring your right forearm down as you fold forward. So you're putting everything together. Forward fold, twist, rotation. Breathe in. Keep your weight onto your back of your body. Breathe in and out. Drop your left hand down. Release your right hand. Both hands come into the center. Walk your right hand into the center. Breathe in. Release your left hand. Open up your body. Breathe out. Drop your left hand. Sole through your right. Same thing. Ankle, toes, outer edges, whatever you can feel comfortable. Or gradually you get there. Breathe in. Release your right hand. And then breathe in. Once you're comfortable, breathe in and out forward. Bring your left forearm down. Breathe in. Breathe in and out. Bring your right hand down. Release your left hand. Both hands grounded. Bring your heels and toes out. Toes and heels out. Heels and toes out. Lift up your toes. Allow your sits to go back. So twist is going back. And then bring your both hands forward as you're dropping your sit. If you're comfortable, bring your both hands into prayer pose. And if you're not feeling comfortable, make sure you both forearms or elbows goes onto your knees and drop your sit. You can always elevate yourself. Breathe in and out as you lift up your heart center. Your Malasana. Keep your toes soft. Always check that out. Making sure your ankles are not dropping internally. No pronation. Make sure your toes, ankles, knees are in one line. Breathe in and out. Bring your hands down. And then bring your hands to this side. If you can, make a touchdown gently. If not, be safe. Shake your legs off. We will lie down and do the bridge pose. Lie down on your mat. You can lie down slowly or you can lie down with the support, doesn't matter. Make sure nothing is obstructing while you elongate your neck, your spine. Make sure you have posterior tilting your pelvic so your belly button lifts up, tailbone lengthens, no space underneath your lower back, and then bend your knees. Making sure your pelvic is stable. In order to check that, first do a couple of pelvic rotation, okay, or pelvic tips. Lift up your hips and drop one vertebra at a time, lengthen through your tailbone. Lift up your hips and then drop, rolling down your sacrum. One more. Breathe in. Notice your belly button. And then roll down. Keeping your spine elongated, no space in your lower back. Check that out. Lift up your left leg, keeping your belly button in towards it. If you feel anything discomforting or lower back is hurting, that means you probably need a support. Breathe in and out, drop it. Check your other leg. Lift up your right leg, keep it 90 degrees, and then drop it. It allows you to learn about the stability of your pelvic. Breathe in, lift up your, keep your belly button in towards the spine, lift up your both legs. If there is any pain in your lower back, make sure you have support. Okay, keep it lengthened. Breathe in, both hands on either side. We'll be doing very gentle. We'll do it in 3 stages. Knees right over your ankle. Toes are facing forward, 10 toes are facing forward. Legs are hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. Breathe in, lift up your hips, just the hips. Make sure your both hips are in line, in an alignment. One is not dropping deeper versus the other. Breathe in and out, one vertebra at a time, bringing your spine down from top to bottom. We'll do 2 more. Breathe in, lift up your hips a little bit, along with your lower back, and then breathe out from top to bottom, dropping it down. 1 more. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out top to bottom, dropping it down. Now we'll lift up into a bridge pose. We trained our spine, and now we'll get into a bridge pose. When we get into a bridge pose, we'll have weight onto our upper back, not onto our neck. The last one we will do it, that will bring this weight or the pressure onto the cervical spine, because we'll be grounding, lengthening and all that. But we'll do it in 3 stages. Breathe in, lift up your hips, lift up your lower back. No squeezing your butts, your hamstring will be squeezing, not you. Breathe in, lift up. Imagine that there is a bowl right on top of your pelvic and you're lifting, filled with water. You're lifting that bowl up. Your weight is onto your upper back. Breathe in and out. Arms are soft. Make sure your knees are not flying out. Breathe in and out. Your weight is onto your upper back. And then breathe in and out. Bring your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Bringing your spine down. Hip stretches at the end. Breathe in, lift up. Your lower back, your mid back, your weight is shifting onto your upper back. Your shoulders, it's shifting onto your shoulders. Your shoulders are shoulder girdle. Your shoulders are away from your ears. Your neck is soft, elongated but soft. It's not shifting the weight. You're not tucking your chin in. Observe your knees with your mind's eye. Notice where your thighs are going towards your knees. Knees are going towards your toes. Bases of your big toes grounded. Vastus medialis activated. Breathe in and out, 1 vertebra at a time, bringing your spine down. One more. Breathe in, lift up. This time we'll be tucking our chin. Lift up. And then tuck your chin in towards the chest as you lift up further. Imagine that pelvic bowl. Keep lifting up. breathing in. I'm tremoring. Yes, my muscles are at work. I'm sure yours are at work as well. Have a smile. Breathe in and out. One vertebra at a time. Bringing your spine down. Hips touches at the end. Bring your one knee in, other knee in. Go side to side. Bring yourself back into the center. And then both hands at the shoulder level. 90-degree angle between your lower leg and the upper leg, your femur and your lower part of your leg, your shin. Breathe in and now drop your both knees to the left. Keep your right shoulder grounded. If your right shoulder is lifting up, bend your right elbow, keep your shoulder away from your ear, and then turn your head to the right. You can always support your right knee by bringing your left hand onto the outside of your right knee. Breathe in. Breathe in, head comes back into the center. Left hand goes to the side. Bring your both knees back into the center. And breathe out as you bring your both knees to the right side. Keep your left shoulder grounded. If it's lifting up, bend your elbow and then keep your left shoulder grounded. And then turn your head to the left. Bring your right hand outside of your left knee, pulling it a little bit towards you, breathing in it. Breathe in, head comes back into the center. Lift up your both knees back into the center. Both hands on either side and hug yourself. Go side to side. Massaging your sacroiliac joint. Lotion is the motion. Bring your both knees into the center. Hands onto your knees and make the circles with your knees onto the ceiling. Breathing in and out as you're making circles. Keep your hands onto your knees. Knees come in and moves away from your body. And then go the other way. And then coming back into the center. Bring yourself onto your one side and lift yourself up. Keeping your left leg out, bring your right leg over your left. Flex your left foot. Keep those toes towards you. I'm going to do level 1, Matsyendrasana. Keep your right foot grounded. Release your left hand to the left side and bring your left hand around your right knee. Right. Bring your right hand in front of you. Breathe and lift up over your head. And then as you breathe out, turn your right palm up. Turn your right palm out. And then bring your right hand to the side and down. Always feel free to accommodate or adjust your pose as per your need. Pushing your right hand into the ground, keeping your left foot flexed. Breathe and lift up your sternum. Elongate your spine. Create a space before you twist. Breathe in and out. Twist at your lumbar. Rotate at your thoracic. Breathe in. Breathe in back into the center. Head comes back into the center. Release your right hand up and release your right hand down. Release your right leg to the side. Bend your left knee. Bring your both soles together. Butterfly your soles. Shake down. And then stretch your right leg out. Bring your left foot over your right. Left leg goes over your right. Grounding through your left foot. Make sure the entire foot is grounded. It's very important Breathe in, bring your both hands. Make sure your both hips are square. If your hips are leaning onto one side, you may need a support underneath your sit. Make sure your both hips are square, both hip bones are facing forward and not in an angle. Keeping your right foot flexed, bring your right hand to the side and then wrap it around your left. Bringing that left knee in towards your chest. Release your left hand. As you breathe in, lift up over, turn your upper palm and then bring your left hand to the side and down. Pushing your left fingertips into the ground, elongate your spine as you ground through your sits. Breathe in and out. Twist at your lumbar. Rotate at your thoracic. Breathe in. Notice your breath. Notice the dialogues between your breath, body, and the mind. It tells you a lot of things about your practice. On your next inhalation, bring your head back into the center. Hands go over your head and your hands drop down. Bring your left leg to the left side and your right knee. Bring your soles together, butterfly your soles. And then cross your legs. Bring your both hands at your heart center. Take a breath in. And out, lead through your heart. Hinge at the head, forward and forward. Allowing your forearms to ground as you drop your head. Make sure you're not rounding your spine, neck is out. Breathe in, lift up. Slide your hands towards you. And then lie down on your mat for Shavasana. Shavasana is your corpse pose. Letting go everything. And allowing your breath to flow freely. So it's done this way. You can always bend your knees if you have any lower back issues. But if you don't have any issues in your lower back, stretch them out if you feel comfort. Find your comfort. You can always have a support underneath your knees. Let it go like this. And then allow your body to let go. Depending upon your capacity, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Observing your breath, body, and mind. Taking it in and letting it go. To allow your mind to connect with your sense of being. To your true self. And bring yourself onto one side. Lift yourself up. Coming into your comfort pose. Hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for being here with me today, watching my video, being part of my journey. Feel the peace, love, and joy within you, around you. And it's always created by you. Share these wonderful feelings with your friends